Mr. Jordan's test, final exam. Number 1. Which feature on Athens' geography is most affected by its economy? A, the fact that it was on a peninsula. B, that it was close to the sea. 2. Which form of government in Greek city-states usually came first? C, monarchy. D, democracy. 3. A society has a stable food supply if A, it gives food to the king. B, it has enough food for its people. 4. Because one physical feature was so vital to ancient settlers of Egypt and Kush, most of their settlements were C, near a river, D, around trees. 5. The Sumerians were a civilization but not an empire. What feature did the Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian empires have that the Sumerians lacked? A, one government ruled by several groups. B, rulers claimed to get power from the gods. 6. Why is King Tut one of the most well-known pharaohs? A, Tut lived and ruled for more than 70 years. B, amazing artifacts were found in Tut's tomb. 7. Why are the social classes of ancient Egypt described by the shape at the left rather than the one on the right? A, the triangle represents the 3 seasons of the Nile. B, most people were in the bottom classes and the fewest people were at the top. 8. Why were the Sumerian communities called city-states? C, they all depended on each other for water. D, each of them had its own ruler and owned farmland. 9. What makes much of Greece a peninsula? A, a lack of large rivers, or B, the water on 3 sides. 10. An important way historians learn about ancient Kush is through C, Egyptian tomb wall paintings, D, Nubian books printed on paper. 11. Who built the giant temples of the pharaohs? C, peasant farmers during the flood season. D, priests hoping to get jobs in the temples. 12. Kush was also called Nubia because C, its rich gold mines, or D, brilliant gemstones. 13. The name Mesopotamia comes from its location, which was A, between 2 rivers, B, in mountain foothills. 14. Which of these inventions most affected the food supply in Sumer? A, the arch, or B, the plow? 3rd page. 15. Which physical features made Sparta somewhat isolated? C, major highways, D, surrounding mountains. 16. Which of these leaders of empires came first, Cyrus or Sargon? 17. How did the desert help people of Egypt and Kush? C, it was grassy for grazing sheep, or D, it gave protection from invaders. 18. How did most kings in ancient Greece come to power? A, they inherited it from a relative. B, they were elected by the people. 19. Why did the ancient Egyptians make mummies? A, to decorate palaces of the pharaohs. B, to preserve dead bodies of the pharaohs. 20. The ancient Greeks did not like to travel on land because C, they used the land for farming instead of roads. D, they found traveling through the mountains difficult. 21. How did the citizens of Athens get enough grain to eat? A, they conquered neighboring farm villages. B, they shipped local products to Egypt to trade. 22. What kind of laws did the oligarchs pass? C, laws that helped the poor. D, laws that favored the rich. Question 23. How did the Greek mountains affect communication? A, they isolated the communities. B, they promoted road building. 24. Which of these events led to the Kushites adopting Egyptian ways of life? C, both armies burned a Roman fort. D, Egyptian pharaohs conquered Kush. 25. Which of these activities were permitted only to men? C, working as a scribe. D, asking for a divorce. 26. What was a major purpose for building the pyramids? C, homes for the pharaoh's servants. D, tombs for pharaohs when they died. 27. How did the yearly flooding of the Nile River affect the people of Egypt and Kush? A, it isolated the settlements. B, it left silt that improved the soil. 28. The Akkadians used steles to C, record important events. D, make metal objects from metal. 29. Read this list of responsibilities. Lead the army, enforce the laws, have temples built. Who had these responsibilities? A, the king. B, the priests. 30. What development caused food shortages in the Zagros foothills? Increase in population. D, fighting between villages. 31. For what achievement is King Pi of Kush remembered? A, conquering Egypt. B, introducing iron tools. 32. Which Sumerian belief about the king helped strengthen the social order? A, he was chosen by the gods, or B, he cared most about the poor? 33. Which of these events most likely happened in the Agora of Athens? A, people bought leather sandals. B, people voted for their leaders. 34. What period is often called the Golden Age, a time when Egypt has reached the height of its power? C, the New Kingdom. D, after the New Kingdom. 35. How did the government officials get their job? C, priests relied on signs from gods to choose them, or D, they inherited the position from a family member. 36. Useful vegetation along the Nile River included C, reeds and papyrus, D, canals and ditches. 37. What made farming in ancient Greece especially difficult? Mud, rocks. 38. What was the chief purpose of dams and reservoirs? C, to store water for later usage. D, to protect villagers from attacks. 39. Oligarchs were thrown out of power by a partnership between C, army leaders and poor people. D, merchant and skilled artisans. 40. How did the Akkadians get their resources to build up their capital city? A, they mined precious stones in the mountains. B, they collected tributes from conquered people. 41. Which of these did the Akkadian use to gain power over Sumer? A, military strength. B, economic wealth. 42. A 12-year-old Athenian girl would most likely get her education C, from her priestess, D, from her mother. 43. How did Kush regain its independence from Egypt? A, the Nile River overflowed. B, the New Kingdom collapsed. 44. The ancient Greeks worshipped the sea god Poseidon. What does that tell us about the Greeks? C, they relied on the sea for travel and trade. D, they stayed away from the sea as much as they could. In which area of the map below did the Kushites settle? C, area C. D, area D. 46. If you were in ancient Sumer, you might see a levee besides a river. Why was the levee built? C, to prevent floods. D, to control workers. 47. Why were the scribes important in Sumerian government? A, to entertain the rulers, or B, to write down the laws. 48. In a tyranny, what allowed the leader to rule? A, military force. B, family tradition. 49. What was one method that Khufu used to ensure that his power would be accepted? A, he declared that he was a god, or B, he had many children. 50. What sentence best describes the role of women in religion? A, they were worshipped as gods, or B, they could become priestesses. 50. What sentence best describes the role, 51. Which of these was a sanctuary in a temple? A statue of a god, or B, a pool for washing? 52. What technology enabled Assyria to defeat Cush? C, iron weapons. D, wooden wheels. Why is Sparta said to have been an oligarchy? C, the government had two kings. D, a small group of people had power. Question number 54. How was ancient Greece democracy different from democracy in the United States today? A, citizens voted directly on all issues. B, citizens gave their leader their total power. 55. It was built from more than 200 million stone blocks. It has a tunnel inside. What is it? C, the temple at Abu Simbel, or D, the Great Pyramid at Giza. 56. What is Hammurabi best remembered for? A, a code of laws. B, a style of battle. 57. The ancient Greeks raised these animals on their farms because these animals, A, did not need flat land, or B, could drink seawater. 58. The building in the picture was most closely related to which of these features of the Sumerian civilization? C, religion. D, government. 59. Why was silt a problem for the people in Sumer? C, it ruined the soil for planting, or D, it clogged the irrigation canals. 60. Unlike the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea, the Sea of Galilee was A, a source of fresh water, or B, too stormy for boats. 61. What was dead about the Dead Sea? A, it was too salty for any form of life. B, it was the scene of many historic battles. 62. Hatshepsut was the first pharaoh who was C, a priest, D, a woman. 63. Why did Greek communities sometimes fight each other? C, they could not start colonies. D, they each wanted more land. 64. Why did Egyptians bury some bread and beer with their dead? C, to feed them in the afterlife. D, to perform a sacrifice to the gods. 65. Read the list below. Siege technique, battering rams, movable towers. The Assyrians used these things to C, destroy crops. D, conquer cities. 66. Which sentence best describes education in Sparta? Both boys and girls got military training. D, both boys and girls learned to cook and clean.